Once again, welcome. Now, let's just take a moment to breathe, to be present to this time and place, to enter into the spirit of community, and to invite the Spirit itself to be present among us, and to open our hearts to life and to one another. Come, let us worship together.
We are a body, and just like your physical body, we have cells in our physical body, right? And they work together. And if they don't cooperate with one another, negative things happen in your physical body. But when they cooperate and they work together, you're healthy, and everything works nicely, beautifully. We as a church are just like that. Each one plays a part that's important. Whatever gift, whatever talent, whatever ability you have, you contribute to the body and make a healthy, beautiful, beloved community. We are going to have a little drum circle going on here this morning. I'm going to start just like in the church, somebody contributes. So I start, someone's going to join in, and then another person, and then another person, and then another person, and it's going to be a beautiful sound, right? On the pews, or in the pews with you, you'll find some noisemakers. After we all are playing for a moment, please feel free to join in the rhythm. If you have a shaker, if you have a clacker, if you have a frog, I think there's a couple of frogs around. You can snap if you don't have anything nearby. You can clap if you want to keep the beat.
Thank you. I moved back to Kent 3 years ago, emotionally and physically tired and feeling alone. After just a week, I walked into this sanctuary, not knowing what to expect in this new to me UU congregation. I looked for a seat near the back, and someone moved over and patted the pew next to her. I told her I was new. Making space, she smiled and joyfully continued her vigorous knitting. In the service itself, with the music and the greetings and the blessings, I found a community that was willing to see who I was and what I might bring, even if on some days it's nothing. Even before she handed me her beautiful creation at the end of the service, I felt I belonged. Thank you, Elaine, for welcoming me. I was ready to receive such gifts from her heart and to see what I might be able to offer. In the summer's workshop, Reverend Sunshine Wolfe asked us to consider what the church of our dreams is. Today, we celebrate those who have found that UUCK is their place of belonging and have recently indicated their wish to become members formally, even though you may have known and seen some of them for years. We will also celebrate Jubilee members with decades of membership in this church and recognize they're continuing to make this their church of choice. We can learn from one another, grow with one another, and be parts of the covenant we share. As Unitarian Universalists, we light a flame within a chalice to unite us in worship, to remind us of our ongoing search for the light of truth within us and among us, and to be a light that reveals to us the beauty and wonder in our world and in each other. I invite our children to lead us in the chalice lighting. As Iona lights our shared chalice, I invite you to light your home chalice.
There it goes. Hands.
When Reverend Stephen shared with me the theme for today's service, he said, "Wouldn't it be nice to hear what the children think?" And I thought, yeah, duh. So I took some time over the last few weeks to just talk to our kids as I came into contact with them here at the church and at events, just to see what they had to say. I asked them, what do you like and dislike about church? Or what makes you want to be here? And some of the responses were, I love church. It's fun. I've been coming here since I was a baby, and this is where my friends are. The next question I would ask was a little bit more specific. If you could create your dream church, the best church ever, what would that be like? So hey there, UUCK, listen up. If you want kids to get excited and stay excited about church, and you want to teach them to plant the seeds of love and peace and justice in ways that they will not only remember, but also be inspired to take out into the world, our children have some ideas. And here's what some of them had to say. Lots of outdoor activities. Oh, and I could be the teacher. Food. We want to watch movies together with popcorn and candy, just like at the movie theater. Kids would have many different playrooms, and they would have cake and ice cream every Sunday. There would be big trees outside to play in and on. In the church service, we would play games together, or have show and tell sometimes. We get to do more art and listen to good music. We could bring our pets. We would play games and eat food. Scavenger hunts. We would do lots of skits and sing only good songs, and we'd also do lots of crafts and watch movies together. You sensing a theme here? Only the good songs. Church would be held outside and have things to climb on whenever we wanted. There would be dancing. It would never be boring. Pizza parties for everyone. Something cool would be sometimes the grown-ups go to RE and the kids get to stay in the sanctuary to hold their own church service. I think so too, Ike. And finally, talent shows. some naysayers in the front, all right. Well, this all sounds delightful to me. What do you think?
Yeah.
Can I come to RE?
Absolutely. I've got teacher spots waiting just for you. Well, this all sounds delightful. Kids want to have fun. People, humans, they want to have fun. They want to move their bodies. They want to create things, play games. They want to lead, and we need to let them. And they want to, well, they want to eat. They want to eat a lot of food. To every parent and teacher of children, this information is old hat for sure. And you might be thinking, hey, we can't have fun all the time. But we must remember that during these times of fun, as we build this church of all of our dreams, that while our kids and grown-ups are busy having all of that fun, there's a tremendous opportunity for our children to learn about themselves, about others, about life, and about Unitarian Universalism. There is a magic in all that fun because connection happens. Connection to nature, music, connection to their faith, connection to you. And if we do it right, they carry that love and that magic out with them into the world, and they plant those seeds of love, peace, and justice in others.
It's time now to take some time to hold one another as we just sang. Each week we create time of shared stillness for prayer, for reflection, gratitude, or meditation, or just simply being. This is in order to remember who we truly are, to reflect on life, and to reconnect with that sacred mystery that is the heart of life itself. So I invite us now into some stillness, where we will find that place of silence within us, where love lives and calls us into fullness of life. Part of our life's experience is sorrow, struggle, and loss. As a community of compassion and care, we take time now to share the sorrows, struggles, and losses that are in our hearts right now. If you're on Zoom and have a sorrow, loss, or struggle to share with us, please use the chat box. Kara Kramer shares with us that my grandmother entered hospice care this week. We're holding you in our hearts. Mark Stevens shares that a friend has breast cancer. May that friend find peace and healing. Vivian shares the sad news that your kitty Julia passed away. Oh, sorry. It's hard to lose our animal companions. Rhonda Richardson asks us to send love to the Hook family as they grieve the loss of their beloved Steve. Heidi Schaefer Bish shares the sadness along with Steve Hook's death that Deborah Lynn is hospitalized with an infection. We send love and prayer to that family. Jane and Krimmer share the sad news that a son-in-law died suddenly. Janie, Ed, we hold you in our hearts and grieve with you. Benny and Katie Ivanzik share that our pet gerbil, Gerard, died yesterday. We hold them in our hearts as they grieve as well. Ginny shares sorrow over the loss of the 19-year-old son of a family friend who was shot in Florida last week. Lois shares thinking of my aunt and cousins today. My Uncle Lee passed away yesterday. We're holding you in our hearts as you grieve as well. Raven requests continued prayers for her difficult times as well as others who are struggling. David Bond asks for prayers for his wife Kelly, who is trying to recover from mastitis. Donna Craver-Dean says, my dear grandmother's services were yesterday and tomorrow will be the burial. She lived a great life and we're holding you as you grieve as well. I share with you now these words from Wayne Arneson. Spirit of life and love, God of many names, we hold before you those who are in need of care and love, those we've named, those we carry in our hearts, those who are sick or lost or alone. We hold before you those who are grieving, those who struggle with addiction, those who are the victims of violence, hatred, or oppression. We pray for peace in our hearts and our homes, for peace in our community and our nation, for peace in our world. We offer our thanks for the people who have loved us and continue to love us. Help us to open our hearts to people who might be within our circle of love so that we can make the circle of belonging and inclusion ever wider. Help us to see ourselves as the loving people we are and can be. Together we pray that the love we share with the people in our lives will teach us and guide us. May it be so. We have joy, wonder, and awe in our lives as well. There have been moments that have lifted our spirits. If you're on Zoom once again, you're welcome to use the chat box to share your joys with us. Mike Cardew and Diane Kilo. Mike, well, they both say, in 7 days I will marry the love of my life and my soulmate. Congratulations. And Trudy Deal shares the joy that my mother is visiting from Arkansas. Welcome. We're glad to have you with us.
There is a place I love to call my own. There is a peace I only feel in sharing it with you and letting you share too. It makes the welcome real.
Singing alone, it lets my heart shine through. There is a music in your soul that joins a voice with mine. It's only then we find the kind of peace we know is true. We are here together in this holy moment. And we're grateful for the wine.
The decision to join a congregation is one of life's most powerful moments because it affirms a willingness to make a deeper commitment to spiritual growth and a recognition that we are only fully human in community. We rejoice today because some of us have chosen to make a deeper commitment to this spiritual community by becoming members. Each new member we now welcome has taken the time and care to learn about Unitarian Universalism and this congregation. Each person has affirmed our values and our principles and said yes to the call of our mission to serve one another in the world. Each person whose commitment we recognize and celebrate today also understands that our faith is a lifetime search for truth and meaning, and that joining this congregation affirms a willingness to continue to grow as people, both emotionally and spiritually. We are not asked to profess our beliefs in order to be welcomed into the circle of love. Unitarian Universalism is non-creedal. It's a free faith. But in the absence of doctrine, dogma, or creed, something must hold us together in community. That something is covenant, a mutual promise we make and remake to walk together toward the lives we seek to lead. So today's ceremony is not just about our new members. As we welcome these new members and those who have chosen to join us, once again, all of us remember, we recovenant. We renew our commitment to one another to continue our shared spiritual journey with courage and joy, offering one another care and hope. In making these promises with our new members and renewing them with one another, today is a joyful and powerful moment for all of us as we continue to become the community of memory and hope we aspire to be. Now I invite our congregation's moderator, Don Gregg, to join me.
As moderator of the Board of Trustees of this church, it is my pleasure to welcome our newest members. When I call your name, please come forward to sign the membership book and bring with you the insert from your order of service. Kara Kramer. Randy Bish. David Weaver. Mike Cardew. Nancy Vanderstein. Bill Weiland. And Hale Dodds.
Now, will the congregation please join in the responsive reading and the insert in your order of service? We, the members and friends of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Kent, joyfully welcome you into our congregation. We affirm the unique gifts, wisdom, passions, and commitment you offer this day. We encourage you to grow spiritually and live a life of service, integrity, and joy. We promise to walk with you in friendship, respect, and trust. And would our new members respond, please?
I become a member of this church, aware of both the privileges and responsibilities of membership. I choose to join you on life's journey in all its mysteries, struggles, and wonders. I promise to share my basic wisdom, to join in our shared ministry, and to support the life and work of the spiritual community as fully as I am able.
Now, let's all join together in the words of our congregational covenant. We affirm that each life has brilliance, and when joined with others in joyful community, has the power to transform. We pledge ourselves and our resources to this journey. This covenant inspires and challenges us to dwell together in right relationship. We promise to extend hospitality, nurture community for all ages, encourage spiritual growth, honor diversity, and practice kindness. May it be so, and together we can make it so. We've given each of our new members a rose of welcome and friendship, a yellow rose, and the gift of a book about Unitarian Universalism titled A Chosen Faith. Now, let's give our newest members a good old-fashioned UUCK in Ohio welcome.
In 2014, the membership team started a church tradition of honoring members who have belonged to this congregation for 20 or more years as Jubilee members. Today, as we welcome these new members, we also celebrate and honor our newest Jubilee members, those who have reached or about to reach this year 20 years of membership. Those Jubilee members who are here, please come forward as you are able to receive your Jubilee pin. And those who are on Zoom, we hope to be able to highlight you if you are among those whose names I read. I'll read all the names together, but please come forward as you hear your name. Christy Anderson, Brad Bolton, Elaine Bowen, Donna Craver-Dean, Aaron Craver-Dean, Saul Flanner, Becky Haynes, Luna Lisa Hart, Kathy Kearns, Ed Krimmer, represented by Jane, Colleen Norris, Sonis Parsons, Hal Walker, Kathy Walker, Heather Waltz. Members of the welcome team will present you with your pins. Those of you who are joining by Zoom, everyone can see them on the screen here. I hope you're feeling the love, Jubilee members. This is a poem by Rudy Nemser titled Long Haul People. These are our long haul people. You find them in churches when you're lucky. Other places too, although I mostly only know ecclesiastical varieties. Long haul people upon whose shoulders and pocketbooks and casseroles and daylight nighttime hours a church is built and maintained after the brass is tarnished and the cushions need restitching. They pay their pledges full and on time, even when the music's modern. Support each canvas through the sermon, though the sermons aren't always short. Mow lawns and come to suppers. Teach Sunday school when there's no one else and they'll miss the service. Ask what they think of the minister or plans for the kitchen renovation or the choral anthem or the Christmas pageant or the color of the bathroom paint. They'll reply, individuals and fashions arrive and pass. The church, their church, will be here, steady and hale, for a long time. Long time. It will. For long haul people, bless a church with a very special blessing. Jubilee members, thank you for blessing this church with the very special blessing of your commitment and gifts throughout the years. Without each one of you, this church would not be the vibrant, thriving community we are today. Let's offer a round of well-deserved applause for our Jubilee members. Please greet and welcome our new members and talk with these Jubilee members and thank them after today's service. This morning's first reading is a poem called Belonging by Karen G. Johnson. Belonging, be, longing, being, longing. It is said that we are creatures that long, that yearn, that aspire. It is said that we are a people of belonging, longing for creation and connection, longing to be equal to this moment which calls us to the root of welcome, to the wellspring of inclusion, to affirm the delicious diversity of humanity, to honor the many expressions of gender, an unfolding gift of the world. We are a people of belonging, creating refuge and home when it has been blocked or barred, when it is not offered elsewhere. We are a people of belonging, singing hallelujah to the yes degree, to a melody of you are whole and holy. In harmony with you are righteous and beautiful and worthy, to the tune of you are a child of the universe. In all your longings, you belong. You belong here, should you choose to call this home. You belong to the universe, always and ever. Today's second reading is the poem Dogfish by Mary Oliver. Some kind of relaxed and beautiful thing kept flickering in with the tide and looking around, black as a fisherman's boot with a white belly. I wanted the past to go away. I wanted to leave it like another country. I wanted my life to close and open like a hinge, like a wing, like the part of the song where it falls down over the rocks. An explosion, a discovery. I wanted to hurry into the work of my life. I wanted to know, whoever I was alive for a little while. It was evening and no longer summer. 3 small fish, I don't know what they were, huddled in the highest ripples as it came swimming in again, effortless, the whole body one gesture, one black sleeve that could fit easily around the bodies of 3 small fish. Also, I wanted to be able to love, and we all know how that goes, don't we? Mostly, I want to be kind. And nobody, of course, is kind or mean for a simple reason, and nobody gets out of it having to swim through the fires to stay in this world. And look, look, look. I think those little fish better wake up and dash themselves away from the hopeless future that is bulging toward them. And probably if they don't waste time looking for an easier world, they can do it.
Was a woman traveling who found herself in a strange city she'd never been in before. Sunday morning came and she finally decided she wanted to try a Unitarian Universalist church for the first time. So she drove around the city and couldn't find the church. Okay, it's in the suburbs. She looked around the suburbs and it wasn't there either. So she started driving through the countryside and still couldn't find the church. She was quite a ways out there. So all of a sudden she noticed a farmer by the side of the road. She stopped and waved and said, "Excuse me, but am I too far out for the UU church?" The farmer thought about it for a minute and said, "Lady, nobody is too far out for that church." In my 26 years as a UU, I've met a lot of very interesting people. But as of now, I haven't met anyone who would be too far out for our congregations. We do have a reputation for attracting free spirits, rebels, artists, and visionaries, out-of-the-box thinkers, and most importantly, dreamers. So back to the story. If the traveler finds that church, what does she find? What is she really looking for? If you're here for the first time today or have started attending recently, perhaps you're searching too. Do you know what it is you're searching for or why you want to come to church? My colleague Victoria Weinstein once polled people and compiled a list of reasons people come to church. Here are a few. They're looking for fellow corduroy enthusiasts. There's an attractive person you want to see. To be able to say, "I go to church during the Thanksgiving Day family interrogation," as a condition of probation. People watching for that novel you're writing, and my personal favorite, to see if the minister really is gaining a lot of weight like a friend said. Okay, so how many of you came to this church to join a committee? Anyone on Zoom? Now, don't be shy, raise your hand. No, I thought not. I'm the only person who came to join a committee. All 40 of them. Instead, each one of you have come maybe with grief or loneliness, with an ache for healing and wholeness, perhaps a longing or yearning you don't even have words for yet. In the second reading, Mary Oliver expressed some of our basic human yearnings. I wanted to know whoever I was alive for a little while. I wanted my life to close and open like a hinge, like a wing, like the part of the song where it falls down over the rocks, an explosion, a discovery. And you all have dreams. As I've listened to you express your dreams and what the church of your dreams would be, there are several frequent things I've heard. One of them is a desire for healing and hope, something we all need in our lives. The last few years have been so hard for all of us. We've suffered losses, struggled with isolation, fear, worries for our health and safety and the well-being of our loved ones, felt frustration and anger with our elected leaders, and there are many more things on that list. So I ask you, how will we be a place where we offer healing and greater wholeness? There are dreams of being able to grow as individuals. I was told ahead of time that last Sunday's service led by our youth would be out of the box. Of course, I was very curious, and it's true. That service was out of the box. The music was some pop classics most of us know and remember. But what was really great was the way the youth showed us what is possible if we're open to taking risks and trying new things. They were honest. They were vulnerable. They shared with us the growth and joy that came with putting aside stereotypes, truly listening to others, being given the gift of someone's life story, of learning how to do new things, of the joy that comes from serving others. If you didn't attend this service, be sure to watch the podcast on our church website. The most common dream I've heard is about belonging. You dream of a place where you can be yourself, where however far out you may be, you'll not only be accepted, but your authentic self is welcomed and included. A place where your questions are welcome. A place where your unique understanding of God, of the Spirit, of whatever you hold to be ultimate in life and provides meaning and hope is not only welcome, it's a gift to all of us in our shared search for truth and meaning. You've told me of your dream that this community is a refuge, a home you have not found elsewhere, a place where deep connections are made, and we know that we don't have to face the storms of life alone, where we each know we belong, that we are intimately connected with others and with the great web of existence of which we are a part, even if we forget that at times. I was at Laurel Lake on Thursday for our monthly covenant group meeting, and one passage we read led to a powerful conversation about belonging. It was the words of Quaker Douglas Steere. The ancient question, who am I, inevitably leads to a deeper question, whose am I? Because there is no identity outside of relationship, you cannot be a person by yourself. To ask, whose am I, is to extend the question far beyond the self and wonder, who needs you? Who loves you? To whom are you accountable? To whom do you answer? With whose life is your own all bound up inextricably in obvious or invisible ways? End of the quote. These are important questions in creating community and understanding what it really means to belong. Questions that seem very fitting as we both welcome new members today and we celebrate members who have made this your spiritual home for many years. When we welcome new members, I always give them a charge, but this morning, my charge is for all of us. I charge you to seek and discover through your spiritual practices the ultimacy that is your source of strength and hope. I charge you to respond to your relationship with the eternal by sharing your unique gifts and joining in our shared ministry as we serve one another and the world. And finally, as you have been welcomed and given the gift of belonging, I charge you to pay that welcome forward. Welcome others. Offer them the gift of belonging. Continue to make our circle of love and inclusion wider for those who are searching for belonging and community and have yet to find us. I charge you to defy the forces that would alienate us from ourselves and from one another, to resist the fear and intolerance that divide our country and our world, and to continue to learn who you are and remember whose you are. And I charge you to remember that we are all truly inextricably bound up together, children of the universe, all participating and belonging to the love that sustains and embraces every one of us. Let's take a moment to reflect. We bless and are blessed. We give and receive in the great circle of life. And it is through giving and receiving that our spiritual community thrives. Thank you for the generous gifts of money, time, and care for each other in the recognition that we are all truly interconnected. To help others in our community thrive, we give to agencies and organizations in Kent and beyond that serve those in need. September's special offering is for the Southern Poverty Law Center. The center is a catalyst for racial justice, working in partnership with communities to dismantle white supremacy, strengthen intersectional movements, and advance the human rights of all people. In the spirit of gratitude for the gift of one another in this community and the abundance that makes our generosity possible, we now give and receive the offering as a sign of our shared commitment to the life and work of this community and beyond. Will the ushers please come forward?
We belong to one another, to each other we are bound, as we build a world together, full of joy that we have found. What we are, we owe to others. When they need us, we respond. We belong to one another.
from those around us how to live in loving ways. As we grow, we need each other and the gifts that we can share. In our searching and our striving, how we need each other's care. We give thanks for one another, for each kind and loving face. We are grateful for the blessings that infuse our lives with grace. May we offer our abundance as we're given. May we give in our thanks for one another. May we help each other live.
Now it is time to bring our worship to its close. Would you join me in extinguishing the chalice? We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. May we carry these in our hearts and minds until we are together again. I'd like to remind you of two things. First, please do not exit through Fessenden Hall downstairs where our children are having RE. And next week, we will meet in Hobbs Hall at 11 a.m. for our monthly Community Sunday. Please join us. These are the words of John O'Donohue. May you listen to your longing to be free. May the frames of your belonging be generous enough for your dreams. May you arise each day with a voice of blessing whispering in your heart. May you find a harmony between your soul and your life. May there be kindness in your gaze when you look within. May you never place walls between the light and yourself. May you allow the wild beauty of the invisible world to gather you, to mind you, and to embrace you in belonging. And now, mindful that each of us have a place here in choosing to call UUCK our spiritual home, and renewed in our call to be a people of inclusion, creativity, and connection, let us go forth in joy and hope as we continue to inspire love, seek justice, and grow together in community. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen. And I see the light in you.